Hey, good morning, y'all. Today, still on Transparent, and it's coming out of Genesis 3:10 and Mark 9:23. Genesis 3:10, I'm gonna give you a quick review. It says, "And I heard the voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself." The result of that incident was based on them not believing or trusting God enough to take him at his word. And sometimes we find others that come along and try to talk us out of what God has for us, and the dangers of that is we listen. We begin to believe that we can do it on our own, and sometimes it's complicated because wrong believing can't produce right living. And because we don't know what to believe, and the people that we've come to know and love has led us to believe that we are inadequate, unable, incapable of making it without them, less alone without God. And it's kind of challenging because we come to God with an expectation, and we believe and we want him to move in our lives, but yet we struggle to accept him for who he is or in the person in whom he sent. It's kind of challenging because you want to live for the world and you want to believe in God. You don't want to sacrifice or meet the conditions that are open the door to better living. It's kind of like saying once a drug addict, always a drug addict. And if you believe that, despite the obstacles that are put in play to reinforce that belief or behavior, if you continue to believe that, then you'll forever be an addict. Recidivism is that inability to accomplish or go beyond where you at to return and continue to do what you're doing. It's kind of challenging because there's so many pieces put in place to keep you in the state that you're in, never to rise above it. But if you believe that you're not going to be nothing, then it's a possibility that you won't become nothing. But then for many of us, there's the danger of believing that you can make it. And then upon making it, what do you do now that you've made it? It takes faith to believe that it's something better than what you have. But then when God opens the doors and positions you in the place that he's put you, now the dilemma of how to function or operate in an element that is unknown to you, it's kind of like having really to trust God and take him at his word because you feel like a fish out of water right now. It's challenging, but you can't do this with fear. You have to believe that all things is possible. First and foremost, that God is able and he will continue the work that he started in you. You don't have to be a Bible scholar. In fact, the less you know, the better chances you have of overcoming the critics because you have nothing to measure what they're saying by. It's one thing to say you know God, but right now you have to put yourself in a position to ask or to be concerned about whether or not God knows you. Although he's all-knowing, meaning he knows everything, but the question remains, does he know you? Your personal relationship is based off the experiences that you find yourself in when there ain't nobody around. You come like Nicodemus at night. You crying and you're asking God questions as to how to make my life better. You got a foot in the world and you got a foot in the word. But you don't want to do the right thing because the right thing is not the popular thing. When you come to God, you're going to be isolated. But then the challenge of that is you have to believe that what God has for you is better than what you continue to pick for yourself. It's a challenge to change what you think you know and accept that to be your reality, when the reality of the matter is it's only one way, and it's God's way, and whatever method he uses to get you back to the true way, accept it, embrace it, be encouraged. Working on some things, but wrong believing does not produce right living. You can think you okay, but at the end of the day you're not. I just want you to keep your head up. Don't accept everything you hear, and just be mindful that today start by changing what you believe. All the things that they said about you, they said you wouldn't make it, you wouldn't be nothing, you would never hire nothing, wouldn't nobody ever love you. To overcome them beliefs in itself means you'll experience a victory today at a level that you never have before. So be encouraged, pass it along. Remember the motto as well as the logo. We ain't trying to be local, we trying to go global. Pass it on and be blessed. Thank you.